It's time for us to drive the enemy back.
Sometimes we always love history, sometimes either fictional or non-fictional. But the one thing many people need to understand is that you have to respect the culture. Disrespecting our culture is not something to be played around. Now before I continue with that, and our comparison between Assassin's Creed Shadow and Onimusha, or in this case, Dynasty Warriors. Now we're gonna pick out that soon. Before we get into our comparison, let's look at this article from Fandom Pulse. Now this is a continuation of previous video on my first channel. According to Goza, even if Yasuke was a samurai, he had been a formality. For example, in the Edo period, feudal lords who were fond of sumo wrestlers had their own personal wrestlers. Formerly, they were treated as vassals or samurai and allowed to wear a sword, but even if a war broke out, it was not expected that the feudal lords would allow their retainers to fight in the battlefield. When asked about Yasuke depicted wearing in the game, Goza stated that the Japanese people around Nobunaga was very surprised by Yasuke's dark skin and seemed to be interested. In a sense, it was a show. Having a black man like Yasuke so close to him would attract attention. In a sense, show off Nobunaga's power. In a sense, Nobunaga could show off his power. Therefore, I believe the most important purpose was to show off to everyone. In the Jesuit historical record, it is written that Yasuke was powerful and could do a few tricks. I believe that he is in fact Nobunaga's bodyguard and entertainer. However, he was not a samurai warrior that Westerners imagined him to be, slaying one enemy after another. Even he did fight, he did not command his men, but worked as a single combatant. Okay, I can believe that. Now, as you can see, the executive producer is going beyond what is accepted truth with the game. How did that end up? You guys know this? See? Before I get into our historic content, now this is not a World War II content, okay? That is for another video. This is for the old period. And yes, there are many things that is both on the East and the West. Not many movies, TV shows, or video games can feature this. There are a handful. Now one problem with that is the lack of source. Like, take a look what happened with Assassin's Creed Shadows. You see, this is what happens when people try to use this as a virtue signaling. History gets lost in translation. Here's another example. Cleopatra. How did that end up? We all want to see historical content in either movies, TV shows, or even video games. But the one thing everybody needs to know is to respect the source material and respect the culture where it came. For Korea, I think if you're in South Korea, you can exactly make a historical content. But when it comes to North, I don't think they will probably get that. Now, China can do better when it comes to their ancient times, such as Battle of the Red Cliff, or Qi Bi as it was called. Oh yeah, Romance of the Three Kingdom, or the Three Kingdom. They made a TV shows out of that. Now the West, yeah, is pretty much difficult right now. Some are successful, like say Bravehearts, like Troy. What else? But currently, many historical content from the West is mainly DEI. Well, except for Napoleon, okay? That's another story. And when that happens, what do you think? People will just accept it? No. The whole country was uproar. Egypt sued Netflix for wrong description or perhaps wrong depiction of Cleopatra. It's not how it works. There's no black Cleopatra. No. Culture is not something you can mess around. You know there's consequences when it comes to culture. How come the East is better, not just respecting the culture, but also creating? I mean, they create it and then they respect the culture. They didn't insult it. And yes, there will be some inaccuracy because you can't make 100% correct because there will be some debates on that one. So it's quite difficult. We're going to continue on in the next video. Most of them is mostly the 20th century, 19th century. You know what that means. But I think 19th century, I will make it a separate video.
Your might on the battlefield proved most impressive. With a little more training, you will be right up there with me in no time. If you are interested, would you like to learn a new skill? I am sure you could pick it up in no time, and it will surely prove useful in battle.
Leave a like and subscribe if you want gaming news, reviews, or theories, or you just want to see me play games. Visit my first and third channel up here, or you can visit it, link in the description.